Hello, friends. Today we are going to talk about a mystery that still fascinates people around the world. A story about a woman who, at the time, became a symbol of progress, independence, and courage. We will discuss the disappearance of Amelia Earhart, the famous American aviator who vanished during her attempt to complete a round-the-world flight in 1937. Amelia Earhart was one of the most famous female pilots of her time. She was born in 1897 in Kansas and showed an early interest in aviation. In 1928, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, though as a passenger. This event made her famous, and a few years later, she decided to truly conquer the skies, taking the controls herself. In 1932, Amelia made another record-breaking flight, becoming the first woman to fly across the Atlantic solo. It was an incredible feat for that time. She didn't just sit behind the controls, but completed a long and dangerous journey, covering vast distances with minimal navigation tools and without the modern technologies we have today. She continued to set records, and in 1935, she became the first woman to fly from the Hawaiian Islands to California, further showcasing her exceptional skills. But in 1937, Amelia decided to take on her most ambitious project, a round-the-world flight. Along with her navigator, Fred Noonan, she set out to complete one of the most challenging aviation missions of the time, flying around the world along the equator. It was a true feat, requiring not only courage, but also immense technical knowledge and exceptional flying abilities. The mission began in late March 1937 with a departure from Oakland, California. Everything was going according to plan at first. Amelia and her team landed successfully in Miami, then in South America, Africa, and India. By this point, Amelia had already completed a significant portion of the journey, and the round-the-world trip continued. However, after several weeks, on July 2, 1937, an unpredictable and tragic event occurred. After taking off from New Guinea, Amelia and her navigator, Fred Noonan, vanished over the Pacific Ocean. This was the last known contact with the crew. They failed to return at the scheduled time and were unable to make contact despite numerous attempts to send radio signals. What happened? Why was no trace of their plane found? After the disappearance, international search efforts covered a vast area. An active attempt was made to re-establish communication with the crew, but the signals that Amelia and Fred tried to send were too weak and unclear to pinpoint their exact location. It was even thought that they may have been thrown off course and lost their bearings, but the search efforts yielded no results. Numerous theories have been proposed regarding the cause of Amelia Earhart's disappearance. One of the most popular theories is that she simply couldn't find the island where she was supposed to land. This version suggests that in poor visibility and with navigation failure, Earhart may have missed the island and, having exhausted her fuel, lost contact with the radio station, ultimately crashing into the ocean. But what if Amelia and her navigator survived the crash and ended up on an island unable to send a signal about their location? Some researchers suggest they may have survived, but spent months looking for help before possibly dying from a lack of food and water. This theory remains unproven, but continues to captivate the imagination. Another theory is even more sensational. It claims that Amelia was captured by the Japanese. This was a time when Japan was expanding its influence in the Pacific region, and Earhart's disappearance could have been tied to the political climate. However, despite years of research, there is no evidence to support this theory either. Many believe that Earhart and her navigator simply fell victim to bad luck near the end of their grand journey. They may have ended up on an uninhabited island, exhausted and without means of continuing the search, and possibly their bodies were never found. The search for Amelia continued for years, but despite immense efforts, no trace of her was ever found. In 1939, it was officially announced that the search would be halted. The U.S. government even declared that no more time or resources would be spent on the search, as the chances of finding the plane were extremely low. However, the mystery of Amelia Earhart continued to captivate people's minds. New research and theories continued to emerge, along with attempts to locate the remains of her plane. In 1989, an expedition uncovered strange objects on a remote island, but their connection to Earhart could not be proven. Nevertheless, Amelia Earhart became a symbol of courage and the quest for new horizons. She inspired a generation of men and women seeking to achieve the impossible despite obstacles. Her disappearance remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history, and her name will forever be remembered by all those who admire bravery, determination, and the pursuit of a dream. Thank you for being with us. Share your thoughts on the mystery of Amelia Earhart in the comments. Which theories do you find the most plausible? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch new videos on historical mysteries. See you next time.